Hey, welcome to Breaking Boxes with No Fun Dave. Today we are going to talk about being prepared before the storm comes. So this morning I woke up. This morning I woke up. It's the middle of January and the winter weather in Canada hasn't been so bad. And yesterday we were driving around like it was summertime. I mean, it's just above freezing, so it's cold, but the roads were clear. There was no snow on the ground. The ski hills are complaining that they're not getting any business because there's no snow on the mountains. So anyways, we wake up this morning to find a veritable blizzard blowing through town. And for anybody who's lived in the snowy part of the country or a snowy part of the world will know that traction is important in a car in the wintertime. And so what happened this morning, we jumped into the SUV with winter tires, lots of clearance, four-wheel drive, and meandered down the hill and up the hill, and I dropped my dad off at work because he drives a sportier vehicle with summer tires, and so there's one car that does really well in the winter and one car that doesn't do so well. So anyways, as I was driving through town at 6:15 in the morning, the route to work goes way downhill and then way uphill. And I mean, it's always funny to me when you're driving along the road and you're like, this guy is not gonna make it up. His little summer tired front wheel drive light Japanese vehicle is not gonna make it to the top of the hill. And you're sitting there waiting for him to stall out, and you can see the car start to slide back and forth. He is not making it to the top. So anyways, I dropped him off at work, and on my way back home, I was heading up the hill, and a guy 2 cars in front of me didn't make it. So I say parked the car. What I mean is I put the 4-way flashers on in the middle of the road along with the guy in front of me, and we both hopped out and helped push this guy to the other side of the road so that he'd be heading downhill, and I'm sure heading home for the day because he's not making it to work, because every route that he goes is going to be uphill because he's living down in the valley. So it just got me thinking about life. This guy was driving a BMW, let's call it a newer BMW, and it was lowered, and he still had what are called all-season tires on. And, you know, by the name you'd think, oh, hey, great, all-season tires. That means I can handle all conditions all season long. But that's not the case. These are snowy conditions. All-season tires do not work in the snow. They only work in 3-season. Really, they should be called 3-season tires, but they're not. So this guy went out this morning, prepared to take on the snow, trying to get to work before it gets too bad, and didn't make it. And, you know, when we look at life, any other day of the year, really, this guy's going to look awesome in his very nice BMW with front wheel drive only, and think nothing of it. He can get to work, he can get back from work, he can go wherever he wants, he can take a road trip. But then when trouble hits, things don't go quite right. Yo.
You're looking for something. Is this what you're looking for right here?
That'd be the one right there. Can you just stick it in your office?
I can do that.
Is there a cable in it too, or is it just the block?
Seems
goody gumdrops. Thank you. I can stop looking.
Yeah, I will. You can. Yeah.
All right, thanks.
Okay, bye.
Bye. And so just like in life, we oftentimes have things looking like they're going great. They look like they're going fine. That might be in a relationship. That might be at work. That might be in our personal, it might be with our health. Things are going just fine until a storm hits and the conditions change, or an argument happens, or an offense happens, or a firing happens, or, something jolts us into needing a different set of skills. This guy needed a different set of skills. He could have made it to work had he well-gripped winter tires. He could have made it to work if he wouldn't have lowered his car and, been bottoming out on the snow. He could have made it to work had he chosen a different vehicle, one that could actually make it through these kinds of conditions, but he didn't, and that's okay. It's just that he wasn't prepared for this kind of a situation. And sometimes in life, we're not prepared for what comes, and we need somebody to push us out of the snow. We need somebody to point us in the right direction. And sometimes we need to get skills that we don't have, because if that hill doesn't go away, if the snowstorm doesn't go away and he has to get to work tomorrow, he's going to have to make some changes to be able to get there. And sometimes in our life, we need to make changes to get the tools and the skills that we need to navigate the winter storm. And I just found it so interesting this morning as I'm driving along, thinking, what skill, we don't actually notice that we need these skills until the storm happens. Some of us look ahead and we are prepared and can see what's happening. But really, the desire to go in and spend $1,000 on winter tires, it doesn't sound like a whole lot of fun. And so the benefit is not worth the downside until the time that the storm comes. So I have learned to embrace the storms, to enjoy the storms even. Now, that's a choice. That's a choice that you can make. And the reason why is because the storms are what equip us for the hard things of life. The more hard things that I have been through, the more I've grown as a person, the more my character has grown. Am I able to handle losing everything and stay an upstanding, right-seeking, good husband, good father man? Or am I going to dwell into the pits of depression? That's a question I can now answer, and a question that I have the skills to be able to navigate. If a great wind comes and I now have way more than I need, do I have the skills that I need to handle success, to thrive under success? Or, like some, do I turn to drugs and end up addicted to cocaine and in a rehab center, having lost all the things that got me there? These are real things that happen to people, because when there's a big change, when there's whether good or bad, sometimes we don't have the skills necessary to be able to handle those situations. It is my desire in life to be prepared, to learn the hard things, to do the hard things, to be uncomfortable, because there's no growth without discomfort. And so you're either going to be uncomfortable while growing and learning, or you're going to be uncomfortable when the storm comes and you're not ready. But let me tell you, it's a whole lot better being ready than being stuck. And I look around at the world around me in a whole bunch of different areas, whether they be relationship or job-wise or family-wise or parenting-wise, the things that really matter in life. And there's a lot of people who have got a lowered car in a snowstorm with summer tires, spinning their wheels, trying to figure out how to get up the hill. When you start to ask questions to people who have already been through life, who are a lot older than you are, who have experienced more life than you have, if you ask interesting questions, you'll get really interesting answers. For years, I would ask people, when if you were to do life over again, what would you do differently? And when you start asking that question to people, you get some really interesting answers, and you get to figure out what's really important in life. And when you focus on the things that are really important in life, I mean really important in life. Yes, you need food on the table. Yes, you need a roof over your head. Yes, you need to earn some money somehow. But there's a lot more than that. Who am I bringing around me? How am I growing? Who am I giving back to? Life's not a one-player game. You're always trying to give back. Joy is found in giving back to others, in putting into others, in pouring into others, and growing others. What's important? What are you focusing on? And is what you're focusing on the most important thing? And do you have a plan for that? Are you planning for when the storm's coming? Are you planning for when marriage isn't quite so fun anymore? Are you planning for when parenting gets hard? Are you planning for when your boss comes into your office and says, sorry, we're cutting your position and you don't have a job anymore?
You look chilly.
I'm just trying to record a podcast. I'll call you right back in just a few minutes.
I was going to ask, are you going to work for Cynthia today?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know with the snow if that was canceled.
Oh, it's happening. I'm picking everybody up in my super duper off-roading snow vehicle.
Oh, not in Cynthia's super duper off-roading Jeep?
She's like, my Jeep can go anywhere, but I don't have the confidence to do that.
So show her.
She said, I will, but all of my accidents have been in the snow.
That
Yes.
just tells you that you're better at driving.
Boom, baby.
Yeah. Okay, bye.
Bye.
I love you.
Love you too. So if I can share anything with you, it would be ready for when the storm comes. Learn the fundamental things that you need to learn to start a new career right away, to figure out what it is that you actually want, to aim for a target in your relationships that's amazing, to raise amazing children, and to figure out how to do it. Focus on the things that really matter. Plan ahead for the things that are coming, because if you live long enough, it's going to get stormy and it's going to get tough. And it is so much more fun being ready when the storm comes than it is being unprepared, riding smoothly all along without growing, without changing, waiting for nothing because you're not planning ahead, and being surprised when tough times come. So the tough times are coming. They always do, and they always pass. And how you handle it through that is where your character is built and where it's expanded. So go learn what you need to learn. I'm always happy to help people navigate any of the important issues of life. Reach out, call out, happy to help.